Hi everyone, welcome to Get Ready with me, Louise. I'm excited today. We are on to the letter D, which Dior. Um, and there's really a lot from this brand I love, and there's a lot that I'm like, it's either one way or the other. You know what I mean? I either really like it or I don't, and it's neither here nor there. Or it's just maybe the price tag's just not right. You know what I mean? Like I like it, but the price tag. So that's kind of where I stand with Dior. When I really like something, love it. When I'm not, or I think the price tag isn't right, then I'm like, eh. You know what I mean? But I will say, for the most part, there's not much I don't like. There's very few products I've tried that I'm like, eh. But we are using one today so that I can tell you about it. So for the first foundation, I am wearing the Skin Glow Forever foundation. For concealer, I'm wearing their where is it? I'm gonna drop everything in the process, I promise. Their Forever Skin Correct concealer. Now I did set everything like my under my eyes T zone with the is it Da Vinci or Givenchy this here. For the rest of the face, I know it's going to be a shocker, I didn't use my Bare Minerals. I used the No Powder in 2N to set with. So that's what I used on my face. Now, the No Powder, you can't get it no more. So I kind of don't like that because I really like that, to be honest. But I have found that the Lawless is really good. And of course, you all know that I'm in love in the Bare Minerals. So there's that. Now the next step. This is one of these things that are hit or miss. I don't think you need it, but you might. I don't know. And what it is the Backstage Contour palette. I have 001 Universal, and it looks like this. So basically, I can use these two. It's supposed to be highlighter, contour. Light to medium, medium to dark is how it's set up, right? I can go in with a light hand and sort of use that one. The highlighter, it just doesn't look right on me, to be fair. And then the contour, I did use it around the nose and under my lip. But I'd contour sometimes, but like not really. And the price tag to this and the fact that only really two things can be used, it's like, Now, I didn't use the highlighter in this because I have a different highlighter, but we'll get there. So the next thing would be bronzer. I have 05 Warm Bronze. That is what I've got all over my face today. It is beautiful packaging, no doubt, but I have said this time and again, why do I have hard pan? That shouldn't even be possible with high-end brand. I'm sorry, it just shouldn't. It really shouldn't. This should be formulated to where that does not happen. It's just, in my opinion. Packaging is great. Travel wise, it's great. But, the hard pan, that for the price tag, it isn't worth it. Is it a pretty color? Yeah, it works for my skin tone. But again, so do a lot of other ones. You know what I mean? So I don't find that that's quite a necessity. For the cheeks, for the blush, I am using 015 Cherry in Rosy Glow. This one here. This one is a brighter shade. However, if you go in with a light hand, you'll be fine. They are very, they start, it's, I don't want to say it's light pigmented because it's not. It can be very, if you go boop, boop, boop like 3 times, it's going to be too much. I'm going to be honest with you. But if you build it very slow, it's beautiful. I don't have anything like this color in my collection, so that is why I have it. I've got 4, maybe 5 of these. And there is a new one coming out on May 1st, so I am excited about that. However, their original blushes, I really like them too. My favorite, I think, is called Charnel, I think is how you pronounce it. It's really, really pretty. But I am wearing that. For highlighter today, Again, I could have chose to use that contour palette, but I didn't. I went in with Nude Glow, 01 Nude Glow. Now, again, the packaging is very nice. This is more, you know, is it pretty? Yes. Does it lay nice on the skin? Yes. Do you need it though? No. But do you get to feel sometimes when you're using it? Maybe. Just saying. So I do like this a lot. I think it is very pretty. This is one that I don't regret it, but I wouldn't suggest it. You know what I mean? All right. Then on to lips. I am wearing the shade 558 in the No Transfer. It's a pretty color. I topped it with, this is matte. It's no transfer, okay? It's matte. It is very light on the lips though, but again, like what lipstick and me just don't get along. But I did top it with the this here, I don't know what this one is. It's the Lip Glow. And it kind of reminds me of this, other than this melts all it, this like is thicker and melts more onto the lips than this one does, but it's kind of like a thinner formula in a way. But I would prefer the YSL over that one, just so you know. But I do like that, especially if I'm not wearing a lipstick, just to put on as a balm. But again, the price point. Do you need it? No. What I would highly suggest though is this Maximizer. I really do like it. And the lipstick, it is a light matte. I don't know what I suggested. If you don't like a matte, you're not going to like that, obviously. But if you had to wear one, you might like that one because it is so thin on the lips. You know, you don't have to put that much on to get the coverage because it is pigmented. It has a nice little tip to it to where you can really get, you know, your whole lip and not go outside the line. I don't know. That's an iffy one, to be honest. That I do have, I didn't use this today, but I do have the Dior, I forgot I had it, show eyebrow thing. Love this. Highly suggest this. Mine is in, I have no idea. Oh, 001 brown. But I do love that. It is one of my favorites. But I forgot I had it, so I didn't use it today. Go figure. Eyeshadow. Y'all, this is probably my favorite palette from them, to be fair. That lid shade gives me everything I want, period, as a look. What I have is 859 Pink Coral. Now, I got mine from Nordstrom. Had to think about where I got it because you can't get it from Sephora. I don't know if you can still get it from Nordstrom, but this is one of my favorite palettes. The one that there is one, it's called Nude Dress. I do have it also, and I like it. I do. But it's like a neutral palette, you know? I feel like this is a colored palette. It's pink, obviously. But it gives you a sophisticated type of pink, maybe, in a way. I mean, the packaging is beautiful. It's secured. Let's go ahead and get started. We're going to go into this first light pink shade. It's pigmented and blendable. It's easy for beginners. Like, it's just beautiful. Now, am I biased? Yes. 100% bias here because why? I love pink. Love it. My favorite color in the whole wide world is pink. I think this color story is just beautiful. The colors blend so well into each other. The gradient effect you get from the colors is so beautiful. There's just nothing I could say that's wrong with it. Like, it's completely beautiful. I know. Is it worth the price tag? Absolutely for me. Absolutely. Is there other five pans cheaper that you could go for if you're looking for a pink look? Yes. But what I would say, because I like pink, it don't matter, okay? What brand doesn't matter, I can make it work. I love pink, right? But if you are wanting a more sophisticated, classy type of formula, type of color story, this is it. Packaging, the whole 9 yards. But again, can you get this from a ColourPop palette? Absolutely. Could you get this color story from a Natasha Denona palette? Yes. Pat McGrath? Yes. Now, that lid shade though, this shade right here, that is the shade. That is like it. I mean, it's just beautiful. Do I have this shade in other from other brands? Maybe, but I'm telling you, I don't think it's as pop in your face like this one. To be fair, I mean, it might be close, but I still don't think it's going to be the same exact tone because it's like a lilac silver metallic shade. I can't even, like, it's just gorgeous. And with the rest of these shades, like the way it's lined up, it just works so perfectly. Like, it's crazy. And I'll be honest, at first, well, when I first got this palette, I had, been into makeup for a little while. Granted, I'm still a beginner, but I was probably about a year, maybe 2 years back into makeup. And it kind of scared me a little bit. I'm not going to lie, it did. But at the end of the day, pink is my color, so I was like, it's going to be fine. And it was. It was like the most effortless look I've ever did in my life. We're going to go into this purple. Even with the shades as pigmented as they are, they just work so well together. Like, that purple blends and works so well, and each color stands out on its own to where it's like you almost need that previous color to make the look work. I don't want to sell you on it or anything like that, but I feel like that's the way Dior does their palettes. I also have another palette called, I don't know what it's called, Rogue something, or Rouge something, Rouge. Yeah, we're not pronouncing that. Anyway, it's 879 and it looks like this, and it's got this red in the middle. And I almost wore it today because I haven't played with this one that much. And to be fair, this shade right here really caught my attention. Sorry, that one right there. It's like a pink white type of shade, which is in a lot of palettes. But most of the time it looks white and then has the pink. Once you put it on it, it turns pink. But this one's got the pink. It's almost like it's pink, but then it's going to turn white type of thing. But I don't remember. It's been so long since I've played. And I will say that palette didn't make as much of an impression as this palette did. I remembered this palette. As soon as I saw it, I was like, yep, that's the palette we're playing with. And like I said, the nude dress would have been one I would have chose because it's just a nude palette, but it does create a really pretty look. It does. But I just think that there's a lot of nude palettes on the market, you know? It's like if you're going to spend your money, you want something just a little bit different. Just a little bit of something different to bring into your collection, you know? We're going to take that hot pink shade and I'm going to run it under the lower lash line. I used that white liner from Tarte again, the Fake Awake white liner for the waterline. And to be fair, I don't hear many people talk about the Dior eyeshadows. Generally, it's their complexion products, highlighters. I don't even hear them talk about lipsticks. Well, that maximizer I have. like the lip gloss. It's got like a minty type feeling to it. And I generally love that. That was actually the first thing I ever No, it wasn't. It was second. The first thing is that Dior, which I'm going to use. The iconic show over curl. That's the first thing because somebody was raving about it when I first got back into makeup. But then I got that lip maximizer. And I remember using that for the first time. And it was the first one I've ever used. Never even used the Too Faced lip injection, y'all. But anyway, I just was like, yes, please. And it really did feel like it was doing something for my lips. And it almost, when I used it regularly, which now it's a little harder to do because my collection's so much bigger, but when I did use it regularly, I noticed that my lip line, I could see it a little better. Which now, if I use the sleeping mask at night, either the Too Faced Pillow Talk or the Lawless lip mask, those do the same thing. So it really just depends on what you're looking for. I kind of wish Lawless would put their lip mask in a squeezy tube because I love that lip mask, but I'll be honest, I find it messy to put your finger in it, and I always lose the spatulas. Come on now, we know we always lose them. So I don't know. I haven't used it as often as I have been the Pillow Talk because it's just easier. Now we're going to go into my favorite shade right here. We're going to put this all over the lid. Wait until you see this. Are you ready? I mean, it's gorgeous. No fallout. And I only swiped 2 times. Yep. And look how much coverage it gives me. 2 times. Look at that. It is such a beautiful lilac silver. And it looks like it's like, well, it is metallic, but it almost looks like a foil, really. And you can spray it even and get more or use your finger. I find I don't have to do that for the shade. I was like, did I just get fallout after saying I don't? But I didn't. I was going to say, because that's a me thing if I did. But it lays on the lid nice, too. It's not emphasizing. We're going back into that dark purple shade. It doesn't emphasize anything it shouldn't. And like I said, the rest of the color story just all goes together to get this ending shade. It really does. And I think that that's why I like this palette so much, because each and every color has a specific spot and makes the look everything that it is. Without one of these shades, it just wouldn't be the same. And that may be where it's going to be harder to find an exact replica of this. Because I feel like the Natasha Denona Love palette could kind of give you the same vibe, right? But it's not the same. It's not. It's the vibe, but not the same. And these are pricey, so keep that in mind, you know. Is the Love palette still available? It might be. We're going to go into this middle shade now. And I'm just going to pop it in the inner corner. And the fact that they're all here, and like, it's easy to use. There's really no thought process behind it. It's kind of like, okay, this is what we're doing. It's great too. Because sometimes it can be overwhelming when it comes to colors. We're going to take that dark purple now, and I'm going to line the lower lash line and top lash line. And I get it. The more colors you have, the more it's like, well, maybe I want to use this one. Maybe I want to use that one. Where this is just all in one, easy to use, easy to figure out even. And like I said, this is one of the first palettes that I purchased from them, so I just adore it. But not every palette is the same. I was looking on Sephora to see what palettes they did have. And like I said, they do have new dress, and I do like that one. I do. But I wouldn't purchase it. Um, Cashmere is the one I'm looking at now. Because I think it could be a little different if you're into like cool tone purples for like maybe the fall and winter. But then they have like this denim palette. It's like blue. And that is different. But, I don't think I'd like it. Because if there's no brown in it, and you know how I feel about that. If I'm wearing a blue, it's like I have to have a brown. But I don't think it's going to be the same. I was going to say, like, if you can find a color story, like blue, green, purple, pink, whatever it is you want, and you're not going to wear it often, and you're just wanting the color just for whatever, just like a special thing, you could go that route, but I don't think I would do that, to be fair. But I will say the formulas are easy to use. I mean, they really are. Alright, so that is it with the palette. Now let's go into the mascara for the top lashes. We're going to use the Dior Show Iconic Overcurl. This also had the primer with it. We're not using that. We're just going straight in. I don't mind this mascara. I think I really did like it when it first came out. Like when all the rave about it was out. However, over time, trying different mascaras, yeah, I wouldn't put that up there with like my top mascaras at all. Is it pretty? Yeah. It definitely, separates nicely. It does put a little bit of a curl in your lashes. It gives you a little bit of volume too. But it's just not a favorite. And of course, I'm comparing it to like my Gucci, my Lash Clash, that type of mascara. But, it is good. If you're looking for a new mascara to try out, obviously I'm going to suggest those two. But if you want to try this one, I think you'd be alright with it. Like, it's not... You may actually end up loving it. I don't know. Depending on if you have problems like holding your curl and stuff. That may be, it may be a win for you. For me, I ain't so worried about that. But it does make my lashes black. It separates them nicely. It does everything it should. And the price point, again, you're paying for this name. Keep that in mind. Packaging is nice. It's heavy. It feels luxury. But I would personally suggest Lash Clash or Gucci personally. And out of them, depending on your lashes, if they're like mine, very short and, well, are they? Yeah. Even though I'm wearing a lash serum, they're still pretty short. They're longer than they once were, but they're not full. They're very sparse. I like the Gucci because I like the length and the separation. Even though you would think I'd want the volume, I would prefer that. For the bottom lashes, I'm going to use the MAC. But overall, y'all, today, this look, I am living for it. Oh, shoot. I'm not living for that mistake. You knew I had to mess up at some point. It's been a while. Cars racing outside again. Lovely. I hope you can't hear it. And I will say the reason why I'm living for this look is because of that eye. I don't, like, I don't know how I forget these shadows sometimes. Like, as soon as I saw the palette, I remembered, oh, I love that palette, right? But man, when I put that lid shade on my eye, I was like, oh, that's why I love this palette so much. Now I get it. I had forgot how much this shade here really gets me going. Alright, so I gotta clean up that mess, but overall, we're done. So, that is almost a full face of Dior. Let me know what your favorite product is from Dior. And do you like their eyeshadow? Do you have any palettes from them? And if so, like, which one's your favorite? Because I hear people talk about them a little bit. Like when they first launched those at Sephora, I heard people talking about them. But after that, I really didn't. And I know it's because the new, and I'm the same way. And that's why I kind of find it fun to go back through, whether picking a brand and using every, palette I have, or going in alphabetical order and just picking out things. Because sometimes you already have the best stuff sitting right in front of you, to be fair. So there is that. And I gotta let that dry. If I mess with it now, I'll make a mess. But that is all I have for you today. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it helped in some way. I personally love this eyeshadow palette, so I would rate that number 1. However, if I had to choose like certain products, the eyebrow pencil, the blushes, either one, the Rosy Glow or their original ones, their lip maximizer, and then their foundation. Whether you go with the Backstage, the what was this one called, the Forever Skin Glow, or the matte one. Even, do I have the matte one? No, I just have the Skin Glow. And of course I'd say the Air Flash, but we can't get it no more, and that's not right. That's not right. I still have some though. And then their concealer, obvious. That's a really good one too. So, but yeah, those are the top ones in my head that I'm like, if somebody asked me, hey, what would you purchase from Dior? Those would be it. As far as eyeshadow though, like, I love this one, so I would say this one. But if you can't get this, I probably wouldn't even mention eyeshadow, to be honest, from Dior. It would basically be complexion products, to be fair. So, and they came out with a liquid highlighter. I'm curious if they're going to come out with the liquid blush soon too. I know they're coming out with a new Rosy Glow, like I said, on May 1st, but I don't know. Anyway, give this video a thumbs up, subscribe, ring the bell, hit all. That way you're notified when I upload. I upload every day but Sunday. And I will see you in the next one. Until then, stay safe, stay healthy. Bye.